Our first speaker is Miss Vicki Belo.
Her name immediately comes to mind when you talk about the specialized field of cosmetic surgery. She has been known to have revolutionized the beauty industry in the country. She has also been called the Doctor to the Stars by virtue of her many celebrity endorsers. Last year, her clinic was given the Platinum Award by Reader's Digest as one of the most trusted brands in the country. Entrepreneur Magazine also named her company as one of the top 10 businesses of the decade. Recently, her clinic was named the first ever Philippine medical aesthetic outpatient clinic to get accreditation from the prestigious National Accreditation Board of Hospitals and Healthcare Providers International. Let's all welcome the Ambassadress of Beauty, Dr. Vicki Belo.
Bella, beautiful, good morning to you. And look to the other person beside you and say, alam mo, dapat magpabelo ka. Anyway, so welcome to a Women's Summit. You know, I think in the Philippines we're so blessed. I've been going to a lot of Asian countries recently, from Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia. Actually, I've been going abroad to the States and Europe most of the time. This is really the first time I've been going around Asia. And I realize how lucky we are in the Philippines because I don't think we've ever felt, at least I have never felt in my life, discrimination. And I remember when I went to China a few years ago and I was asked to teach them how to use lasers. Actually, men would not listen to me because I was a woman. So the doctors who were men would not listen. They would, and then, I don't know, you just feel so much, that they really look down on you. And that's why I have never gone back to China since then, because, people spit on me and stuff like that. I hope China's changed. But even in, if I go to the Middle Eastern countries, I was supposed to give a talk in Saudi, and I had to wear whatever. So, I tried. I was so scared to go. It's just a different experience. And we're always treated as second-class citizens. Women are in a lot of Asian countries. And in the Philippines, I think now we're the favored ones. Sometimes I feel bad for the men because it's such a matriarchal society and the women are so strong. And I'm always amazed at how, no matter how wealthy, people like the Tantocos or even people like the Zobels, whoever, all the women, they all work and they all try to make money somehow, not because they need the money, but because they just want to be productive. Or they're always doing NGOs and stuff like that. So it's wonderful to be in this country because I've never felt any glass ceiling. Going back, well, I'm supposed to talk about how Bella became Bello, and I think it'd be interesting for you to see how sometimes you're really born to be something. And, one of my idols in business, of course, is Steve Jobs. I'm such an Apple girl. And, I was reading his book, and I was very touched by so many similarities in the sense that we were both adopted and in the sense that he connected the dots, and at the end of his life, he kind of, he said like everything that happened to him from working in an apple farm, that's why he called his computer Macintosh, or, how things came to pass that you think they're all really bad things that happened to you, but in the end, it really is more for your growth and for your success. So let's begin. Before we begin, we usually talk about, I'm so happy that bello has become a verb. I hope you've used it sometime. But when you go to bello, we say you have been bellofied. So here's Ms. Fair, President and CEO of Hyundai. She is already beautiful, but if she actually went to me, this is what would happen. Trish. Oh, diba? That was Joshua Padilla. Don't they look alike? This is Mina Lim. Gets bellified. Oh, Jeneline Mercado na siya. Do you see the similarity? Achievable. Okay. This is Darlene Berberabe. And, diba? Colleen Garcia. How old is Colleen? 20? And then, okay, this is Ace. And bellified. Diba? Empress Shook. Okay. So you do see, I'm sure if you looked at your pictures when you're 18 or 20, I ask you to go home and look at it and have a selfie taken today, or have someone take your picture and put them side by side. And you can really see what science can do to bring you back. Belo does not believe in making you look like somebody else, really. And the people that we put up there do look alike. It is, you have the similar features already. It's just as age happens, things happen, gravity starts to make your face bigger, your pores become bigger, so suddenly your face, when it was small, when you were younger, it was tiny, then it gets big, right? And so we just want you to go back, even your body, when it used to be small, now it's big. So we just want you to go back to a few, what you looked like 20 years ago. Okay, so when did the Belo Clinic really start? I don't know about you, but my clinic, Belo Clinic, started when I was 5 years old. So 50 years ago, actually we're lying a bit here. I'm 58, I just turned 58 on the 25th of January, but this was me at the age of 5. And I was born, my real name at birth was Victoria Cancio. So I don't know if any of you remember the furniture store, Cancio Calma. That was my parents, they owned that. But, I was adopted by my mom's sister, Nena Belo. So I then became Victoria Belo. And these are my parents, attorney Enrique Belo on the right, and Nena Belo on my left. And this is me at 3 years old. And I want you to take note that at 3, I've always felt very self-conscious, not pretty. So even at 3, I don't think I've ever seen a smiling picture of me. And to this day, if you have any pictures taken with me, you'll see my smile is so hirap. Because I don't really like pictures, because it's not a medium I feel comfortable with, because as you can see, I'm very galaw-gaw, and then you have to stand there and smile. I feel very weird. Anyway, this is me in Assumption at 5 years old, and this is a turning point in my life, because in Assumption, it was an open secret. Well, it wasn't an open, it was an open secret that I was adopted. And so I was bullied in school, in a way, because my classmates didn't understand what adoption meant. Well, they did, and I think when they asked their parents would tell them, oh, it's when the parents give away a child to be raised by another family. And I'm sure at 5, you wouldn't be able to understand why your parents would give you away to be raised by another family. So when I was 5, things like this would happen. They'd come to me and say, why did your mommy and daddy give you away? Why didn't they love you? Or why did your daddy give you away? I said, because you're so fat, because I was very fat. And then I would cry, right? Because I didn't know it was a bad thing. I thought, my Belo parents did a very good job of making me feel loved and wanted. But in school, they make you feel like it's a yuck thing, or people secretly go, she's adopted. And I really started feeling, what's wrong with me? Or they'll say, why? No, my other classmates said, they didn't give her away because she's fat. They gave her away because she was ugly. So my 5-year-old brain put two things together. The logic was, if you're fat and you're ugly, equals you're given away. Which means that also you're not loved. So what did I say at 5 years old? I know what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to make everybody pretty and sexy, so they will be loved. And that's where Belo Medical Group began. So, this is my father, and just like my favorite song, which you played, Becca, did you know that? Or is it just Chamba? I believe I could fly, because my dad would always do this to me in the swimming pool. He would always put me on his shoulders. He would let me pretend I'm flying. Then he'd always tell me, Iha, you can do anything you want, as long as you put your mind to it. The other thing that I think is connecting the dots, if my family name used to be Cancio, and then now it's Belo. Thanks, Marge. Belo means beautiful. Did you know that? In many languages? Like in Italian. Thank you. In Italian, it's beautiful or handsome. In Portuguese, since I went to Brazil, there's a beautiful place called Belo Horizonte, which means beautiful horizon. And so basically, I've become a doctor. My name got changed from Cancio, which I don't think means anything, but to Doctor of Beauty. Right? I mean, so that's why it has such a nice ring to it when it is used as a verb or noun. But the reason that this, people tell me I'm an expert in branding. Branding, you're so good at branding. Everybody knows Belo. But if you really think about it, when did I become an expert at branding? I became an expert at branding at the age of, I think, 11. And the reason I became an expert is because my idol father came home one day and said, Iha, can you do me a favor? I said, sure, Daddy, what? He goes, can you make our name famous? I said, why? He goes, because I'm so tired of everyone spelling our name wrong. Everybody spells our name double L. Our name is only one L. Like, my dad is Portuguese roots, so Belo Horizonte is one L. He goes, can you please? So what did I do? I put Belo with one L in all my things, my paper, my pencil case, my school bag, my t-shirts, I made pagawa, stickers, everywhere I would put Belo so people would spell our name right. And that's at 11, and I just continued when I had my first clinic. So how did Belo Medical Group start? Very, very small. My first clinic was only 40 square meters in Medical Towers, and that's a picture of my kawawang bed. And, you know, people would have facials. It's such an uncomfortable bed. But of course, you're starting out. You don't really have much money. And, you know, I'm the kind of person who does things sabay-sabay. But I believe, kaya ko. You know how they say bad luck comes in threes or good luck comes in threes? Well, I think in my life, it kind of does that. So I always say, God, sabay mo na. So my first day of clinic was actually August 8, 1990. And that's also the year I split up with my ex-husband, Atom, on July 25, 1990. I graduated and took the bar. I got my board exams, I think around June. No, basta my first clinic, my separation, sabay-sabayan. So when I went into my clinic, I really didn't know if I was going to be successful or not. You really don't know. You just start, right? And I had no idea how patients were going to find me. I had no idea what was going to happen. And so all I did, and you should do this all the time, is pray. Because luckily for me, within 2 weeks, I think Regine Velasquez came to the clinic because Ronnie Henares, her manager, was my brother-in-law. Yes, I am related to Kim Henares, but we're not close. But it's an ex relation. But anyway, Ronnie brought Regine, and Regine at that time was only 19. So she's really been the longest endorser for Belo. And she had acne that she'd been to other dermatologists to clean and whatever. They couldn't fix it. So finally, they brought Regine to me, and then I had a new thing. Because one thing I believe in is always having the latest stuff. At that time, glycolic acid was brand new in 1990. And I applied it on her back, and it really cured her pimples on her back. So since then, she's been a loyal patient. But from 40 square meters in Medical Towers, I still have the thing, you never give up your old office, even if you're not using it anymore. It's buenas now. I now have eight clinics plus 2 more to come. So there's, and we finally this year, last year was a banner year because we finally had our Belo Beauty building here in Connecticut. So my vision at that time was to make the Philippines the most, there's another thing, I studied in Thailand, and I was quite envious because Thailand was so good at their beauty tourism. And I always said, why not the Philippines? So I made it my goal to make the Philippines the most beautiful country in the world, but one person at a time. Because as usual, I can't do anything about the trees or the roads or the airport, but I can do something within my sphere of influence, which is to make people beautiful. And that's what I say to you. Stop complaining and start doing something. You all can do something to help the country. You all have some expertise. Just start there. Stop complaining about, you know, what the government's not delivering, because then it just makes you more hopeless, and then the more depressed you feel. The other thing I understood was that the Philippines is a third world country. And so I have no illusions, nor do I have a lot of pride in terms of learning from other people. And I think that's been an advantage for me because I've seen that a lot of doctors are very good, have a lot of ego, and they don't like to learn. They want to teach. They want to show off. And I'm a good fan. I learned from the Americans, the Taiwanese, the Koreans, the Europeans, and that's what makes Belo Medical Group special. And that's why a lot of people fly to the Philippines to go to Belo Medical Group, because they won't find a similar clinic anywhere in the world, because they won't find a clinic that gets the best of Europe, the best of Korea, the best of Brazil, the best of Japan, the best of the States, and brings it all together in one clinic. One thing I love to do is learn. I'm such a learner. If you've done what is that? That book that we do, your 5 strengths. Ano yun? Strengths Finder. I advise anyone who hasn't done it to do it, but I am such a learner. And that's what keeps me going. If I stop learning, I'll get really bored and I won't do this anymore. So my job in Belo Medical Group is usually to go abroad. That's why I'm always traveling, to see what's new. If I find it interesting enough, normally we bring the person here. So this is Dr. Mulholland. I just went to Toronto again I've trained with him 4 times. This is Dr. Stravinsky in Paris, #1 liposuction surgeon there. Although I've been doing liposuction now for 25 years, I still feel I can learn from other people. This is he's from Russia. He's the one who Dr. George Jorge or something taught us how to do aptos threads, liposuction laser, liposuction, and that's what we do. And when the doctor is good, we bring him here to train everybody. The other thing I know is not everything is a nail. What does that mean? Since I decided to really go into lasers, lasers are very precise instruments that are very specific for particular problems. So you have a laser for hair, you have a laser for blood vessels, you have a laser for warts and moles and pigmented lesions. The problem in the Philippines, I think, is because every laser is at least 5 million pesos, every single laser. And in fact, we're buying a laser now that's 15 million. People don't buy the right laser. They try to use their 1 or 2 lasers and make it and look at everything like a nail, and they keep hammering. And then it doesn't work because it's not supposed to work because lasers have a matching problem. You cannot use a vascular laser on a mole that's brown because it's for red lang. Eh. Or you cannot use a a red laser on something you can't use a laser for veins on hair. Sometimes it can work superficially but not well. And then who do the people blame? They blame the laser. They say, oh, lasers are not good. When actually, if you don't have the right instrument, you really won't get the right results. So at Belo, we have 150 lasers. Just to give you comparison, St. Luke's has 15, Makati Med has 15. And we have 150. Why does Belo Medical Group have 150? Because we want the right tools. If you don't have the right tools, you will not have the right results. We have 83 RF equipment. We have 32 phototherapy units and 8 ultrasound machines. Because we specialize. We are not a clinic. If you have if you have psoriasis, Belo is not the clinic you should be going to. Because we specialize in lasers, we specialize in liposuction and making people beautiful. So if most practices are both, they do skin diseases and Botox and fillers, that's not the way we believe, because I really believe if you want to be good at something, you have to just do that. Choose what you want to be good at and just keep doing that. So our clinic is almost 100% cosmetic. If we do have a dermatologist for skin diseases, a very good one, and for allergies, but you have to go to him like a specialist, like a visiting physician. He just goes to the clinic once a week. Every other day is to make people beautiful, and we have all the tools to do it. The other thing that has run my life is the law of the 22 immutable laws of marketing, which I actually read when I was only 17. And I was so struck by the thing that you have to be the first. When I was reading the rule that popped up to me that I could do easily is to be the first. Because you can't be the best. You try to be the best, but it's really a personal opinion. People will say, oh, this doctor's the best, that doctor's the best. But if you're the first in anything, then you'll always be the first. There will never be another first in that particular thing. As a question, I'd like to ask you, who was the first man to land on the moon? Does anybody know? Lance Armstrong, right? You all remember Lance Armstrong is the first man to land on the moon. Who is the second man? Buzz Aldrin. I know. Now everybody knows because of Toy Story. But normally, like if you say, who's the first person to fly a plane? Or the Wright brothers, who's the second one? Don't know, right? Because the first will always make their impact. So just to show you, Belo has consistently been, for the last 25 years, the first to market, the first to learn, the first to, if I hear of something good, I fly. And luckily for me now, a lot of the flying is to Korea because most of the new stuff is in Korea. But just to give you some landmarks, in 1990, first to introduce laser treatments. And then I did tumescent liposuction. This is a new way of doing lipo in 1991. Botox I introduced 10 years before they opened an office here. I would have to hand carry the Botox from the States to the Philippines. And then now we introduced stem cells actually in 2005 and from fat. And we're still introducing always at the most advanced stage of stem cells, which I think in the future is going to be the spare parts of our body. In terms of marketing, since this will be more applicable to you, this is basically what we're doing. We believe in the 4 years of marketing, which is brand awareness, brand preference, loyalty, and then evangelist. So there's 4 stages as far as we're concerned for a patient. When we see the patient, we want to bring this patient through everything. So what's brand awareness? Brand awareness is basically a lot of PR and then a lot of advertising. Whenever I begin anything, of course, I want to save money. So when something is new and exciting, magazines, newspapers, whatever, are very interested. So you can save a lot of money here, just do a lot of PR. After a while, they get tired of your PR. I mean, they know it already. So now how do you sustain? You go into advertising. The other thing I did is wanting to be beautiful, bring it out of the closet. It used to be a secret, don't tell. Now it's a pride thing. I go to Belo. I go to Belo or I go to wherever they're not, embarrassed about it anymore because it's become almost normal. I wanted to make cosmetic surgery hip and glamorous because I'm hip and glamorous. No, but I just didn't want it to be boring. I want it to be, in fact, our new campaign will be your skin. Great skin is your best accessory. Or great body is your best accessory. Because it always bothers me when I go to parties and everybody's so well bejeweled with beautiful clothes and they're fat. Or like Christmas time, they have all this jewelry hanging and then they look like a Christmas tree. Because I don't care how beautiful your jewelry is. I don't care if you own the 200 Birkins. But if you look big and your skin is bad, it doesn't add. Whereas if you wear a sack as a dress, but you're sexy and your skin is gorgeous, that's great, right? And the self-confidence runs through. It's inside. It's not something you can buy as an accessory. It's you. Okay. Now, there are things that happen serendipitously, or in serendipity, where I didn't expect, things I didn't plan. For example, thank you, Dr. Belo, by the stars that I do. I didn't plan that. It just happened. And then you see it happen and you go, hey, that's a great idea. So what happened was, Regine will come out, thank you, Dr. Belo. Albert Martinez, thank you, Dr. Belo. So then you go, oh, wow. That's how people hear about you. Because people know that movie stars, TV stars, what is their puhunan? Basically, it's their looks and their body. So if they trust it with Belo, parang it's a what is it? Brand. It's like a Reader's Digest stamp of approval that you should too. Because if something happens to their looks, then it's all a problem. Then I talk a lot, as you can see, so I came out on TV. And then one of the coups that we had with Crystal...
There are many ways to do it, but here at the Belo Medical Group, we have 9 clinics in the Philippines.
Okay, this is BBC.
And what we do is usually the safe way, which is to just...
So basically, I was interviewed in BBC twice. This one is about whitening. And this year, just end of the year, the person of the year, the last issue of Time magazine, we came out, which is the Philippines, a rising star of beauty tourism, which is great. We do a lot of digital marketing. This way, we ask our stars to be the one to post. So Sarah Geronimo, Rufo Gutierrez, Jeneline Mercado, Marian Rivera, Ann Curtis, these are all our endorsers, and it's much better when they do it, that they did this at Belo, because then, it's clearer, it's not a paid thing. The second gear is brand preference. So, okay, so now Belo, everybody knows Belo, right? But, then how do you make them want to go to Belo? So, first of all, this is another serendipity thing. People just started using Belo as a verb. Oy, magpa-Belo ka. Oh, I've been Belofied. Sila lang, and we just heard it from them, and then we implemented it. You get effective brand ambassadors, people who are known to be intelligent, to care about their looks, who are not bayaran. So we have Fiola Pascual, Rufa, Georgina Wilson, some of them. We do international clients as well, so that's something that you brag about, that people come to the Philippines. Hollywood stars go to the Philippines to have their things done at Belo. Why? Because we usually do a very good job of non-surgical, and they like vacationing here anyway. So here we have Stephen Baldwin, and there we have Yolanda Hadid, who comes out in the Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've also been the only clinic, and are we still the only clinic, who is accredited by ISQA, which is the International Accrediting Society for Quality in Healthcare. This is like the ISO 2001, I think, for big hospitals. But since we're a small surgery center, this is ours. And we're the only ones who did it. It's something that was very hard to do. I have to commend Agnes and her team because they totally worked so hard. They're like, how many? 298 points or something? It took us a year and a half to do it, but we were the only ones who qualified, even if other clinics in the Philippines applied. And we were qualified. We got it 2 years ago, and they're still working on it until now. We all started at the same time, but no other clinic has qualified. Here we are. Just to show you, Belo Medical Group is composed of regular doctors of Belo Medical Group, plus a lot of specialists who visit Belo. I get the best of the Filipinos. I always call myself, people call me Doctor to the Stars, but my own definition in my mind is your best friend in beauty. Because as a friend, I'm very knowledgeable. As a doctor, I know what good is. And I can recommend to you this doctor is good. Because if you're just going to go there, you have no idea what goes on inside the operating room. You don't know what their hands are like. You don't know what the results have been, because you're just doing it for the first time. But I have seen with their results for years. I have seen how cleanly they do surgery, how responsible they are, how their hands are artistic. And then when I recommend someone, it's like saying, my name, this guy is really good, and I trust that you will have a great result. Your third gear now is brand loyalty. So now they've tried Belo, are they going to stay? Filipinos are notorious for trying the new thing all the time. And that's why I prefer male patients. Not that I prefer, but they're so loyal. Weird, no? They're loyal. With clinic, are they loyal in personal life? I don't think so, but for some reason they're very loyal. Once they try something, they don't want to go around anymore because it's hard for a man to enter a clinic, a beauty clinic. They feel uncomfortable. So when they're comfortable, they stay. There must be a lesson there somewhere. But then the women naman, they always want to try. May narinig ako may doctor dyan na magaling. They go there, after a while, they're back. Then they lipat na naman, they're back. Hindi pa sila natututo. And then pag may problema, we become the clinic of last resort, not first, which I don't like, because only when there's a problem do people go back to Belo and go, Doktora, kasi ang pangit ng can you fix it? It's very hard. Please go to Belo already from the beginning, because when you have scar tissue, when it's bako-bako your lipo, when it's uka-uka, it's so hard, so hard. I'd really prefer virgin cases. So here we are with the loyalty program, so you can start at a big entry level. I think we have a 9,000 peso value that we sell for. 5,000. Anyway, and we treat you like a VIP. You get so many perks. The other thing to get loyalty is delight your patients. We're always giving away gifts. This is totally my Belo touch, since I'm one of these people who will buy a product to get the gift. I'm such a sucker for clinic. I'll buy what product can I buy so I can get the gift? Or, Estee Lauder, I really like those little things in the little pocket. It just looks nice. So here we are. This is my favorite giveaway, our piggy bank. Cute, diba? May flower pa siya. Meron pa siyang tutu, diba? Because that's so Belo, diba? Make a pig cute. And in the back, it says, saving for my liposuction. The other thing is, if it's your birthday and you're one of our loyal patients, may birthday cake ka pa, may free treatment when you go to Belo. So these people become loyal and they become your friends and then they become evangelists. So, how do you make them evangelists? Alam mo, evangelists yung, hoy, pumunta ka sa Belo, wag kang pumunta dyan. Sige, samahin na kita, ganyan. Those are the people you adore because they're the best. Word of mouth is still the best. So what do? Cloning is essential. The doctors train with me, follow me, try to get what I would do. Because in the end, if there's a problem, they look at me, not naman at the doctor. So I just need to make sure they think like me, they act like me. This is a team, very professional team. We have about 30 doctors, including the specialists. And then you have to show them naman that we engage them in our Belo Gives Back program. This is something that was inculcated in me from my dad, and Crystal is really another one who I asked Crystal once, Iha, if you had all the money in the world, what would you do? You know what her answer was? I don't know if this will break my heart or I'll be proud of her. She said, I want to do charity work. 100%. I said, and my ex-husband Adam goes, what did you do to our children? I said, I don't know. But Crystal really, she was a volunteer in Bukidnon. She lived there for a year. She just, Mommy, what can you give? So some of our Belo gives back are Yolanda. You guys missed a big sale because I promise you I have never sold anything. And when Yolanda happened, I asked people, how much do you sell your shoes? Mga 500. Okay, how much you sell your dresses? 300 to 500. So darling, I have so many shoes, Louboutins especially because they're so painful, I never wear them. 500 pesos. I had so many clothes, Gucci, Prada, 500 pesos. So everybody's looking at me, what are you doing? I said, they said 500. Bag. They said, because it's normal things, you're not supposed to. So of course, some smart people who are size 8, wow, we had to tell them, no, you cannot make Pacquiao everything. Because I'm the kind of person, of course, when you wear it in the store, it's comfortable, di ba? After 1 hour, sakit. So never wear again. Brand new shoes with tags pa, my clothes. Pero anyway, so it's for good cause. So everybody was happy, including the patients. We're part of Habitat for Humanity. We're part of their book, which means that we gave 5 million pesos for Habitat for Humanity. This Crystal, she does the work. I always tell her, Crystal, I'll donate money, but don't make me work. So she's there working. Okay, business expansion. So if it's my dream to make the Philippines the most beautiful country in the world, one person at a time, of course, clinics cannot do it. So we got into Belo Essentials. And what we're doing here is quality products. We put all the money into quality in R&D. We don't have to pay Mothership, P&G, Unilever money. Okay, and the biggest compliment I had, and this is so true, is that the president of Unilever, when I started Belo Essentials, he said, you know, you were the topic of our conversation in our meeting today. I met him in Schumart where we won so many awards. I said, why? He said, because I threw your soap down in the middle of the meeting room and I said, how can they make a product so good at that price? How? Tell me. And it's because I don't have to give money to wherever. I need to put the money in the product. So we make it affordable. So for example, and it's products I want. Like I hate sunblock. It's oily, greasy. I don't ever wear, but I'll wear mine because it's matte. Glutathione, I wanted it micronized, so it's absorbed fast. It's all for me actually, since I'm getting older. Kojic with tranexamic. Tranexamic is the brand new ingredient from Japan to make you white, so we put them together. And this is our #1 selling product, launched only a few months ago, but it's already our #1 product, and without advertising, zero. So it's all word of mouth, so it's wonderful. Collagen drink, I'm 58, darling. When you're 58, you only have 40% of the collagen you had when you were 8. So what does that mean? Everything starts to sag, pati your body, so I said, Crystal, I was buying a lot of collagen from Japan, bringing it in. Sabi ko, can we just have a collagen product? This is the name of the Japanese product I like. She found a supplier, it is exactly the same. And then we put collagen and hyaluronic. So collagen is wonderful. 80% of our body, our skin, our bones, everything is made out of collagen. So if you take it, if you're over 40, you should take it twice a day. And I promise you, look at my hair. My God, I have so much new hair. My nails are so strong. My hair is growing so fast. My skin is firm. So it's wonderful. I'm so happy with my own product. I'm the #1 endorser. Okay, so now we're opening Davao and North EDSA. But basically, Belo Medical Group is for me. Kasama na lang kayo. But, of course, I have to stay young. It's part of the whole thing. I can't. It's a good excuse. I can buy clothes because I have to look good for you. It's part of my image. I can't get so fat because I can't. But, my skin has to be good. So this is what we do. So all the PR, all the advertising, all the everything, if you're not good, patay. Okay? It will bring you only so far. 2 years max, and then you're dead. So you have to deliver on the promise. Here are before and afters of acne. Look at how bad her acne is, how oily her skin, the pores are so big. Pimples everywhere, and just on ZO skincare, look how beautiful. So not only are the pimples gone, the pores are smaller, the skin is pink. It's much better. This is Jeneline Mercado, and if you watch English only, please, you can see how glowing her skin is. She put her own makeup. which actually in that movie she hardly had any. And I was just, the whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm so happy because, wow, good na skin ni Jeneline. And this is how she used to look when she came to us. Dark, uneven skin tone, and this is her now. So you can really bring it from here to here. Glutathione, Shagayan, she's in the clinic at least every week. So here is somebody, there in the Philippines, we don't like surgery. Okay, so I had to find something, kasi we scar for, if you do a facelift. So we figured out a way to do a facelift effect without any cutting. Here is somebody who's my age, 50, I think she's 57. And here she is, kind of sagging, looking tired, and here she is after non-surgical. So we did Ulthera and we did embedded threads. Ulthera is from the States, embedded protein threads are from Korea. Here's someone with dark eye bags, lids that are falling down, and right away, she looks a lot better. This whole procedure takes 30 minutes from here to there. And it's laser, eye bag, eyelid removal. Here's someone who, could improve. She has no chin, something everybody forgets in the Philippines. They don't understand why they don't look that good. Their eyes are nice, nose is okay, but if you combine everything, look how much prettier. Just by putting this little chin, it just balances your face. I want everyone to look at you. Check your face now and see if you need me. Okay? From head to here. Everyone, put your fingers. Okay, it should be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, ha? So 1/3, 1/3. Oh, kung kulang ka dito, okay, then you know you need to do Belo. Fillers na lang, injection, no more surgery. Okay, typical Pinoy nose, no bridge, wide, okay? Now, the ratio proportion here should be 1 to 1.618. So this should be 1 to 1.618. That is the golden rule, golden ratio. So you want to trim your nose, put a little bridge, put a little tip. So now you're at 1.6 to 1. Another one, look. When he smiles, he actually looks worse. Because when he smiles, the nose gets bigger. And so we do what? Refining, trimming, diba? A little point here, it's too round. Most Pinoys too round the tip. And here after. And look, did you see the skin? We didn't do anything, but the skin got better. You know why? When you take out fat from the nose and oil glands, it becomes nicer. And then when making the nose a little taller, the cheeks rotate forward here, and so the cheeks are now in the proper place. And so his face looks so much narrower, and all we did was the nose. Here's someone naman, liposuction of the face. It's too big, not looking heavy. And here after liposuction na yan. And then here, Jeneline, her arms were kind of big and look how beautiful. May cuts pa. And that's why arms are the best area to do if you want to look thin. Here's a typical patient, 3 children, lots of folds, from here before and after. And here's Jinky, my favorite makeover, because she came to me saying, Doctora, this is on her 4th kid. Doctora, I want to look good because I want to look good for the Philippines. So feeling ko talaga national project. Kasi when Pacquiao, di ba? When Pacquiao sits there, di ba fina-focus yung mga wives? And normally kalaban yung Mexicano, ang gaganda nila, di ba? Mistisang maganda. Tapos kay Jinky, when she looked like this, she knew. She said, I don't look good. So we brought her from here to here. I won't tell you what we did because I think it's so natural. It's hard to figure out. But right away, she looks so much better. And so what is my motto? I think my motto in life has always been, when you're scared, do it anyway. I'd rather die in my deathbed. I don't want to look back and say, sana ginawa ko, no regrets. I'd rather look back and say, kung minsan may palpak, di ba? But at least ginawa ko. So the thing about being courageous, what they say is to be afraid, that's normal, but to do it anyway. So that's how I ventured out alone into this world. And of course, the best thing is to make God your partner because truly, we cannot control anything. But with God as your partner, everything is easy and possible. Hello, Dr. Ko, you missed my talk.